and then my shit died. And then my shit came back to life. Ooh, no. Yes. This is kind of realistic. It's not as realistic as this is, I think, most realistic. Yes. 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 Me and my titties. They're here. So, I did want to be candid that I obviously. Ooh, bitch, I have a whole phone stand. I'm gonna go get my phone stand. I'm being silly. But as I was saying, I was here earlier and I was gonna read tarot, but then I didn't. But then I was like, honestly, I miss reading tarot and I wanted to do it today. I wanted to remember to read tarot today. But I did not have my cards with me. But I did want to ask a question before I start. I asked my deck how they're feeling about me reading cards. No, the video is black? Dang. That sucks. I hate that because that live was really good. It was a good live. Damn, yeah, no, the phone died. I think the live might just be updating because it was a long one. It was almost 3 hours, so could be that. But one thing I wanted to say is we got cut because my phone died, not because I just left. My bad. I saw it gave me a 10% warning, but I did not plug it in. But we're plugged in now, so we're good. But one thing I wanted to say is earlier I was gonna do some tarot card readings outside, but I forgot my cards. And I asked my deck if they were feeling away about me leaving them and not, taking them with me. Bitch, the card I pulled first was the Fool card upside down. And all I heard is, bitch, I'm not a fool. Like like bitch, I'm aware. Like I'm aware I was left behind. You feel me? Then the next card was the Death card on the top. And then at the very bottom, Temperance upside down. So I don't know how she feeling. You know what I mean? All the way. But it's low key giving that she is maybe not in the mood. If anybody want to ask her a question that they already know the answer of, and just help me figure out if she good or not. But just ask me something that you already know, so we could just check on the energy and just see, because those cards they mean something to me, but I'm just trying to see something, because if I pull a card for you, not is that a blank again, if you're a person that has a situation going on and you know what's going on, just raise your hand. Just raise your hand and I'll pull a card for you and let me know how close we are, okay? Because listen, if she off, she off. So, but Jabba's cute though. Why we hating on Jabba? Let Jabba live. What did Jabba do? Listen, Nima, Kira, I see both of y'all. Sugar, thank you for taking the time. As I said, please DM me. I got something for you, baby, because you are a bad bitch. You are one of the baddest bitches. I could tell you're from Bad Bitch Island. You're looking very familiar. Very familiar. I too am a resident of Bad Bitch Island. But Nima, just go ahead and just channel Kira, Sugar, Wahab, what up? But you're a resident of Bad Bitch Island. I see you, Tori. I see you. So with that being said, Nima, top, middle, or bottom, just let me know. Again, I got my Cash App posted because if people want to bless me with a donation, they can. It's never, ever expected, always appreciated. But yeah, Nima, top, middle, or bottom. And that's how I read the cards. You tell me if you want a card pulled from the top, middle, or bottom, and then I read the other two cards with the card that I pulled for you to try to just give a picture. try to just give something. If you don't appreciate tarot, that's fine. No need to start now. Definitely not trying to convert you. What up? Yes. Again, no need to send me a coin. I'm just trying to do a check on the deck. Nima, don't send me nothing because the deck might actually not be on this point today. Because I asked the deck if it was feeling away, and it told me she not a fool. She might be in her feelings because I ain't been kicking it with her for a bit. If I got a roach on my wall, why are you telling me about it? I want the roach to leave too. Let's forget about it. Let's hope it goes home. Roaches ain't from your house. Just keep that in mind. Roaches are not from your house. They're not indigenous to your home. I hope they go back. If I can't kill a roach immediately, I don't want to think about it at all. I pray it just finds its way somewhere else. Nima, did I miss you? Look at Nima sending me coin. Nima, I appreciate you, but I promise you, we're just trying to figure out if the cards are going to work out because I think my deck a little annoyed with me. I got you, Spectre. I got you. There you go. That smoke. Yo, I be crying whenever they fucking hide the messages. How can you tell if a loved one spirit is with you? Well, my thing is this: are you thinking about them? Are you calling their spirit towards you? That's one way to know. But also, if your ancestor or a person that's passed on has liked something in particular, you could bring that thing into your home and, maybe just offer it as an offering. You don't have to necessarily be a part of any culture to be remembering your ancestors and putting out a little something for them on an altar. It's okay. Like if you still miss somebody that has passed on and you know that they really loved caramel candies, that's me. Maybe get a nice little dish. Maybe go look. Maybe you have an ancestor who passed on and one thing about her, she always kept her hair nice and laid. Maybe, you'll keep something that reminds you of her, maybe a scarf that she wore a lot, maybe a special bonnet or just some little effect of theirs that you keep with you. You don't have to necessarily put it on an altar. You can just keep it, in a safe space or maybe incorporate it into your wardrobe. I think that, it can be a special occasion thing. Like maybe one of your ancestors wore a special pair of earrings and you only wear them on special occasions. A lot of people do that. And that's how you keep them with you in physical spirit. But yeah, Nima, I'm not sure if you heard what I said, but if you don't mind giving me a top, middle, or bottom, this is really just a check to see if the deck is open to giving some sort of healing. That is all I wanted. If somebody else wants to give me a top, middle, or bottom answer, again, we are just trying to figure out if this deck is open. I'm hearing you, Nima. Thank you so much for coming through. No, Kira, give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay, Nima, think about what it is that you are experiencing. Think about what you want the cards to offer you. You said the bottom. I'm hearing you. Now, if this card read don't make no sense, please be candid because, baby, my deck might be mad and giving off wild reads. Okay, so I got the Five of Cups on the bottom, upside down, not facing towards you, facing away, which means that you could be ignoring support in life. You could be focused on everything bad that happened, but you not seeing the good. Yeah, some people betrayed you. Yeah, some people caused you some pain, but there's people in your corner. Oh, if this is about the wedding, I did get the Five of Cups overturned, so it does mean that there will be some mess. Don't focus on it though. Eight of Pentacles, it means focus on your money. Eight of Pentacles focusing towards you. So definitely focus on how your money can grow, network, ask good questions. Eight of Cups on top, again facing towards you. When we get to the eights, we're dealing with mental. We're dealing with our mental capacity. So in this wedding situation, you're not only going to have the opportunity to get some money, but you're also going to finally get the opportunity to deal with some, just some people that are really thinking about what their emotions mean. And this is gonna be a hard one because it's the wedding, right? Weddings bring out a lot of emotions in people, and so you may find that while you're there to see all the mess go down, you may find in the end that as much as there was mess promised, there was also connections maybe being fortified. When people are going through something really challenging during a wedding, new allies are found. So this may be a moment where, yeah, there's mess, but people are also trying to make this big production go off. So as much as there's a mess, there's going to be incredible support, incredible resources, but I also see there being incredible emotion. And so, with that being said, be careful. The eights are very strong. We're currently in year eight. This is the mental year. A lot of people are seeing things for what they really are. The illusions are really lost, and so with the eights, you kind of get what you're seeing. And so Eight of Pentacles, what you really seeing, what you really getting, and what you really feeling is what you really motherfucking should be showing. And so some people are showing what they're really feeling, and some people are getting what they really put in. Word, that's exciting. Yeah, no, there's definitely going to be a lot of people around. I feel like all these cups, it means that there's definitely going to be a focus on loss in some ways. Mm. Or a distraction from loss, because the Five of Cups upside down, like usually when we see that card, we're dealing with somebody who's focused on the loss, not focused on the new beginning that's offered, the support that's there, focused on what's been lost versus what's already been found and here for us and with us. And because that card's upside down, it kind of gives that ain't nobody think about shit. We drinking, you know what I mean? But in the midst of drinking, there's going to be money talks, and there's going to be conversations about emotions that you may find yourself hanging in, but just keep in mind that there's going to be a big mental drain at this thing. So enjoy yourself. Get your drink, have a fun time, schmooze, booze, don't get too heavy with nobody. If people start acting up, boundaries. Be like, thank you for telling me, I'm so sorry, I'm not sure what to do, but I need to go over here. Just be candid, okay? Because and I missed it. I miss bringing this all together. But when me and my friend were hanging out, I told them, I was like, I love hanging out with you, but I just didn't have the energy to do this, and this. And I can't, I'm not going to, but I love you, I care for you. And I think she realized, like, she was saying that she was loving people in her own way, but it's like, sweetie, you are people pleasing. And again, like, she just turned 25 years old in fucking April. Why would she know that she's people pleasing? Why would she just know that? Like, she wouldn't. And I think me bringing that to her had her sitting with maybe the reality that she can apologize to some people. That she don't gotta lose more friendships. That she don't even have to lose the people that she might have thought she lost. Maybe they were burnt out. So I'm hoping that she sees it that way. You know? Nima, I love you. I hope you enjoy yourself. Not you stealing the pan and the bottle before it start. Bitch, I'm crying. Yeah, no. All I'm gonna say is this. Be careful. Cause them cards was heavy. Once you travel up the tree, bitch, it's a little less air up there. Okay? Start going towards portals and shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if the eights were two different portals. So choose yourself. choose nonviolence and prepare to have peace. Okay, don't mean you gonna get it, but still prepare for the shit to be there. Because sometimes, people treat us any old kind of way, and if they had prepared for there to be peace, it would have been there because you was already preparing for it. So just consider that. Some people are already preparing for peace with you. But if you come up there with a war, then they gonna stop being peaceful. And some of us have learned the hard way that person, we don't know what they were preparing for, but we was prepared for war, and bitch, we got it. So keep that in mind. Some of y'all out here, sharpening up your swords, sharpening your tongues, getting ready to cut somebody out. Take a deep breath. Do they really need that in their body? Did you? I'm just saying. And again, I've lost a lot of people in my life because I've internalized some of the shit that's been done to me and tried to pour it back out. So just keep that in mind, bitch. I'm not saying this shit because I'm better than you or I think I know so damn much. No, I'm coming to you from experience. I'm coming to you from someone who had to find themselves on their throne after a long time of believing they belonged in the gutter. Bitch, no. Motherfuckers might have left you there, but you ain't got to stay. Okay? Motherfuckers might have left you behind a couple times. Might have left you for dead and you ain't die. Don't mean you belong in the grave. And again, some of y'all may not hear me, and I'm grateful. But to the ones that feel like you just waiting for the next shoe to drop, the next person to discard you, stand up, sweetie. Don't discard yourself first. That be the motherfucking catalyst. I'm telling you. Stay with yourself through this. Stay with yourself through this. Stay with yourself. Don't stay alone, but stay with yourself. Be present with yourself. Talk to yourself. If it's a bad day, talk to it. Look in the mirror and be like, today sucks. Find some way to connect with your real self because, baby, we be literally taking photos of ourselves and sending them off, and like people like are not thinking about it. Being able to perceive yourself like in so many different mediums, like that shit can get wild. Please say nice things to yourself when you see yourself. Cause some people see us and they give us such a crazy look. Like sometimes, and if you was raised by a narcissist, people pleaser, you be looking in other people's face to figure out how you look. Bitch, decide before they see you. Decide before anyone lays eyes on your ass that you are just fine. You have more than enough. You are overqualified. No one can ever look at you and know everything or even understand it. So enjoy. Be free. Isn't it crazy? We really allowing other people to dictate how we feel. And it's not crazy, but it's wild when you really think about just how much you could call yourself to yourself. How much you could pull back that external. It's fucked up. But who teaches us that? Cody, I mix my joints with rose petals. So what I do is I layer my weed. And so in the beginning, it might be a little bit of weed, and then it's rose petals. I also have some cured tobacco from a friend. So I add a little bit of tobacco to there too. I wouldn't suggest anybody start smoking tobacco. I wouldn't. I'm not saying I'm quitting. I'm just saying I wouldn't start it. Because I do believe tobacco has a place in plant medicine. I do not believe we have access to the stuff we need. All of this medicine has been colonized, and they're currently trying to colonize mushroom. They done already got to the weed, bitch. Some of this weed is not good. It's the same shit they did to the fruit. They cooking it with fucking chemicals and radiation. Like, honestly, the food supply really fucking crazy when you really look into how it's created, but everything ain't coming from the farm, bitch. A lot of shit made in the fucking lab, ho. Even if it's motherfucking fresh looking, it's crazy. Um, all right. I also want y'all to know, um, Allison, I see you. I see you. I know it's a lot of weird trolls in here. Trust me. I'm working on getting some mods, bitch. Oh, your stepdad was native? That's dope. But yeah, no, I'm really not tripping on nobody being fucking weird to me on here, cuz one thing that I've realized after 34 years of life is speech, language, it's a primary technology. Indigenous people had it, animals have it, the earth has it. We like when the earth when it's raining, the earth makes noises, doesn't it? It tells us so much. And so when people in the chat say harmful things, I hear what society and maybe their family has done to them. To sit in front of someone and to say mean things, it's not necessarily about being normal, but it more so speaks to just where you're at. And so, with that being said, if you are at a place where you cannot control yourself and you must say mean things to people, I really hope that you get away from those people because I know that that's not who you really are. I know that's not who you are. I know that. But I know that unfortunately, where you live, who you're around, that's all they do, huh? That's all they do is look at people and appraise their worth, huh? And that's what you do now, huh? Yeah, you ain't gotta keep doing that shit. You can look at people and think all the mean things you want, but I pray that you start thinking about how your brain is a big space. You could plant so much in there. Why plant bombs? Why explode inside? Why not plant flowers? They're very easy to water. Say kind things to yourself. Look in the mirror. Be nice to you. I'm not trying to be a healer, bitch. I'm just trying to heal. And this is the only way I know how. Because I used to think like being mean to people was the only way to get them to stop being mean to you. And now I'm realizing that is not the case. It took a long time to get here. So I'm going to just take my time while I'm here. But yeah, no, I used to really think like that's the best way to combat a bully was to be a bully. But no, it's not. It's having empathy. It's listening to what the bully is saying and hearing what they're really saying. I haven't had rosemary in the blend. What y'all be doing with the blend? I would try it though. Let me know. I got some Italian seasoning right now, bitch. Swazi is the best. Swazi is it's a strain that you smoked. I smoked this strain from South Africa called KwaZulu once. And that shit was bomb. It was a sativa. A pure sativa from fucking South Africa. My God, if I ever find that shit again, it's going on the menu immediately. It definitely has cocaine, crack, coffee, just uplifting energy that's not, it's just pure, pure energy. It's with a K. KwaZulu with a K. I would love to be a therapist, but I, bitch, my internet was like, did you pay? Did you pay? But did you pay? Um, I mean, Cody, I mean this so sincerely. When a brown person is talking about Africa or anything in general, I just don't think it makes sense for you to be bringing up apartheid right now. I feel like if people are talking about harm that's happened, anti-black crime, that would be a moment to punch in with apartheid. But in this moment, I just feel like it's not topical, and I also feel like Cody, if I'm being super fucking real with you, I just want us to start thinking about what capacity people are having. Am I in my nightgown smoking an L with you? Absolutely. Exactly. Jasmine. That's what I'm saying. When white people get in a chat with non-white people, y'all be really wanting to go everywhere with the convo, and y'all can't. Just like you can't get on a plane and just go anywhere, you can't do that with people of color. We're not all here to talk to you about all the atrocities. That's not why we exist. Unfortunately for you, you're going to have to actually go and read some books and talk with some white people around about why y'all people did that. You know what I mean? Like a lot of white people want to be anthropologists and all types of documentarians when really the questions should be asked amongst yourselves. And it's wild to me that most white people don't bother to ask each other why are they racist. Like, isn't that bizarre? Bitch, this is why I love doing mushrooms, because it be really having you like, hold on. Like, if you ever want to turn a corner in your mind, take some mushrooms, bitch. I'm telling you, just like I said, everything in nature is existing for all of us to live here in peace and harmony, bitch. And the mushrooms trying to remind us, baby, you are on this earth with us. If we're not good, you're not good. I'm telling you. Listen, to white people that are mad that I'm saying what I'm saying, ask yourselves why white people are the largest criminal race. Why have y'all colonized so much? Why have y'all done so much harm and crime? Really ask your grandma and grandpa. They was doing it too. And now y'all following in their footsteps. Maybe ask them some good questions before they leave the earth. Like, do you have regrets? Why did you cause harm? Again, it's free to ask questions of white people as a white person. Y'all don't usually charge each other to ask questions. So just go to IHOP or some shit. Y'all be there. Uh, Zen, if that's how you're seeing me, that's fine. That's fine. But I just want to go on the record and say if anybody is struggling with houselessness, you are not alone. We deserve housing. Housing is a right. We've always deserved housing. The colonizers' imagination did not intend for us all to have housing. The colonizer always wanted us to fight for land after they stole it. The colonizer is the master is masterful, bitch. The master is masterful, bitch. Just keep that in mind. Mm. The master is masterful. That's all I have to fucking say. And so just keep that in mind, y'all. Like, just keep that fucking in mind. A lot of the shit that's happening, the colonizer already envisioned it. That's what they wanted it to be. Anytime we start to change the way that we're behaving, the colonizer gonna have to come up with a new imagination. But trust me, the colonizer stays shifting. Yes, and Ed, you love it, because if you didn't like my voice, you wouldn't have stayed. So now that I have you here, what's the point? What's the point of having a lilted voice? What's the point of talking like this? What is the point of pretending like I want to talk to you like this? Again, I'm not at work, babe. Again, like so much of gender is so much performance. It's so frustrating. Like my heart goes out to all the autistic girls out there who like just have one tone. My heart goes out to y'all because my God, the way people will really be like your voice, your body, your just constant policing. My God. Zen, whatever you think about me is fine. I really am cool. I'm actually no longer fighting people saying lies about me. Like I just don't care no more. I just feel like me knowing the truth matters the most, and I feel like I hope that y'all get there. I do. I say this as your elder from the 30s. I know a lot of y'all are in your 20s. I know a lot of y'all are younger, and it's okay to not know what the fuck is next, bitch. Though none of us know. Nobody who survived their 20s knew. No idea. Okay. Honestly, I just like talking to people. Yes. Right. No, people expect femmes to sound like customer service representatives every day and let you like not have like a And I see some femmes like going out there like, oh my god, yo. Ooh. I was telling that person today I hung out with, I was like, I really feel like I have no gender, but I feel like if I'm being super candid, I feel like I'm trying to take on some aspects of masculinity because I appreciate them. Like the way that like men are not socialized to like bullshit and combo and just be super candid about what the fuck they're really trying to do. I love that aspect of masculinity because fuck me lying to you and acting like everything's okay. And when you're a femme, you already know. Like when I go to call out from work, bitch, I gotta fucking do this whole, you know how you do all these layered things to like give like plausible, you know what I mean? Men just be like, bitch, I'm sick, bye. Like honestly, I feel like I love that part of masculinity that like men are really not socialized to consider others, and I love that like in certain aspects I will take on that reality and that approach because yeah, I really, if I'm sick, fuck you. Like I'm not gonna show up, I'm not gonna make anybody else sick. Also, I feel like staying home when you're sick actually makes the most fucking sense. But I'm not gonna, when I'm like as a femme, I feel like my femme idea of calling out, I'm texting everyone that I'm not feeling the best. I'm like trying to make sure people know I'm not well, but that I'm trying to figure it out. And like I'm doing all this like shit to give that I care, but like I'm not good. Whereas like men are not considering like the emotional tone of their text message when they're fucking they're calling out. They're not. They're telling you what's happening and they're going. Perhaps you may think it's overthinking, but I remember sharing with y'all that I saw this like experiment where this teacher gave nasty food to girls and boys who were younger, and the girls were struggling to be honest about how nasty the food was. They were going out of their way to tell her, you know, thank you. Like, thank you for making the food. And they were saying it's interesting. Like, they were going out of their way to, like, pad her expectation of compliment. Like, they weren't saying it was nasty, but they were not willing to go so far as to say it was so delicious. They were kind of just like, thank you. Like they were appreciating, it seemed, something terrible. And the boys immediately said, this is disgusting. They immediately said, you're not good at cooking. They immediately said, please don't ever cook again. They actually told her that that's not her strength, her skill. They actually requested that she never do this again, and it was amazing because it was like, wow, even when we're younger and we're not boys, we're still socialized to be kind in a way that could be to our detriment. And so there's ways that, like, again, I think about how my kindness is not for everybody. I'm not going to be kind all the time. In fact, I think it's important that I'm not always kind because we can be overly kind to the point where we're being delusional and we're lying to people. And again, being a femme person or being socialized as femme means lying. And I fear many of us may not want to hold that, like, that lying, that quick thinking, that's trauma. Like it's abuse to have to be overthinking. And even the idea of calling it overthinking when it's like men aren't doing it. So it's like, is it just overthinking? Or is it like weaponized sexual abuse or weaponized gender abuse? It's people pleasing, essentially, right? Like those girls didn't want anyone mad at them, right? And what's a little lie like your food's not that bad? Over time, you end up eating a lot of shit, don't you? Over time, you learn how to say, it's not that bad. Easier and easier and easier to the point where what's not that bad is actually quite awful and terrible and inhumane. But you've gotten really good at eating shit sandwiches. So now, the biggest shit sandwich of your life comes along, and what's another bite? You're so, the standards have dropped so low that you're actually eating decaying flesh. You're no longer even eating dookie. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe you'll upgrade to living flesh. You know what I mean? Again, when the standard's lower and you say, yeah, that's fine, at some point, you may find that the standards are no longer existing and you're trying to figure out where it went wrong, but you won't see that like you were just agreeing, and not even agreeing, you were cooperating. That's why the conversation around consent is so important, because if we don't know what's happening, a lot of times we're just cooperating. We're not really consenting, we're just going along. And again, cooperation, unfortunately, is a part of being traumatized and abused. You know, sometimes maybe you're so alone, so led astray, so demoralized that it's really easy for someone to just come into your life as a whole shit sandwich, and you're like, hey, this is tasty. Maybe you learn how to lie so good that like you were eating several shit sandwiches in several different realms of your life, and it all tastes the same. So again, I say this to say that we can become desensitized in a way that like other people can't tell from the outside looking in. You like that shit sandwich. It was okay, right? You ate it. You didn't say no. You didn't say stop bringing it to me. Again, you see how cooperating can lead you down a path where nobody knows what the standard is now. Maladaptive preferences. Please explain, because you keep saying the definition, or you keep saying the word, you're not giving a definition. Safety, true, and honestly, the idea of safety, like safety is not real. Like we can create safer spaces together, but I feel like, you know, like right now, to create a safer space, let's go take a bathroom break, you guys. Like let's go take a moment of bathroom. I think I said I was gonna play some music, but then my phone died, which really sucked. So I hope people got to get their dance on, but if not, now this can be a moment for us to do a little dance, use the bathroom, and again, us doing a little wellness break doesn't necessarily make this a safe place. It's only safer because people may consent to the wellness break. People may consent because there was an offer that you could shift out of the behavior. If there's no offering, who knows? Like if I really expected people to sit here intently and watch me, and then, you know, all of a sudden I'm like, hey, want to do a bathroom break? You may be like, oh shit, the standards have raised. Like, you may be like, oh, maybe other people that I watch could do this too. Maybe there could be more bathroom breaks. Maybe there could be more dance breaks. Who knows? Again, it's something I suggested to this person who was having a hard time with her students. I was like, why not ask them what music gets them calm again? And then have a playlist. When everyone gets dysregulated, maybe you can play the playlist, and then everyone can get calm in their own ways, and you know, you wouldn't have to leave the room and trigger their abandonment, which is not going to make them trust you. The year just started. You don't want your classroom thinking every time they get out of control, you're going to just leave. That means that they're going to work hard to get you to stay the fuck out of the classroom. That means that they have power, and not in a way that you want them to have power. You want them to have power in the classroom, not the power to kick you out of it. And again, like her not seeing that as a power dynamic shift is, again, she's 20 something. Like, why the fuck? I don't know why they have 20 something year old teachers. I don't mean that to be mean, but it's like I can't imagine trying to tell anybody anything in my 20s. Like, it seems funny. Like, it just sounds funny. I don't mean that to be rude, but it's just like in your 20s, you're just finding your voice. You're just learning how loud to be when you're upset. Like, I just feel like 20s is like figuring out what kind of adult you want to be. And honestly, some people don't get it till 30s. That's fine. You have a lot of time. I agree, Cat Mole. I agree. I agree. I believe that like men are socialized to uh and again, I'm not saying that I'm taking on every masculine quality, but there are some, because again, men are socialized to think of themselves first. Femmes are not. In fact, I truly believe that's why so many younger femmes are shifting away from traditional values because they see the effects of focusing on men and family over their dreams. There are a lot of elders who are leaving this earth and telling younger femmes, I wish I would have focused on my dreams. And that has impacted us greatly. But I also think that some of us may be missing that the cornerstone of male privilege is having a woman slave, having a femme slave. Doesn't need to be a woman. Having a femme slave is the birthright of masculinity in this country. Not maybe not everywhere, but most places, they are promising men that they one day will have a wife slave or a happiness machine. And every young woman and girl that is not being taught that her destiny is to be a wife or a mother, that is another free agent in the world, and we need more of y'all. And I know some people may think that it is their purpose to be a mother, it's their purpose to be a wife. And I want you to consider that after the babies are born and after the marriage has been rolling, what else could you want? I want you to think about that before you get invested. And if you're already invested and you're thinking about something else, I hope you know it's never too late for you, friend. You have more life. You have more life, all of you. Think about it. Kelly just told us she left a man after 30 years. Think about how much more life Kelly has now. A lot of men are stealing from women and stealing their life. Shit, I work at the hospital. Bitch, I see a lot. And it bugs me up. I see so many wives being mothers. I see a lot of wives being mothers. And when these men get sick is when they unleash the reactive abuse. And again, I want to be candid. I don't know everybody's full story, but it makes me think of Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And when like her husband got paralyzed, she was like causing him harm and beating on him and shit. And again, I don't think that a man that does you dirt deserves a lot. But I do believe that if you are called to be the caretaker to someone who has done you wrong, I will hope that you will put that in somebody else's hands. As much as I enjoyed watching Kimberly Elise beat that man, I did think about how our society really it hates women so much that when it wants to give women something, they give women what they're getting. And it's such a revenge fantasy. Like when someone was talking about this Christmas, this is a callback to the Diddy convo. We didn't really have a Diddy convo, but I was naming that like the baby oil. There was a scene in This Christmas where Regina King actually beats this man after pouring baby oil on the floor. He was unable to get up or fight back, so she was beating him with a belt for cheating, and he was getting tore up and he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop the attack. And so some people may think that this is just some lubricant, but baby oil is actually a way to cause someone a slip and fall, to render them disoriented. And once it coats their skin, it's almost impossible to move. My mom is a baby from the 60s. She was born in 65. She kept baby oil in the house. So I know some older people still use it as a moisturizer, which is strange because it's liquid plastic. So with that being said, it can do a lot of damage. And so him having that many bottles is terrifying because it means that he uses it a lot. To be stocked that full, it means that he's using it a lot. And he's not, obviously not just using it for fun. So, um, you're married to the game. I'm crying. No empathy for cheaters. I'm crying. You said you're depressed trying to be a good wife. Babe, my question is this. Like, what is depressing you about being a wife? Like, please uplift that because think about it. I need some of y'all femmes to realize there are femmes in your line who never spoke. They just cooked, cleaned, took care of people, and on their deathbed might have said a couple words, but Some of y'all don't even realize like how quiet some of y'all elders have been, and you are their voice. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Some of y'all don't realize how important it is. Like some of y'all really do not realize that you are speaking for your ancestral line, and it's unfortunate because some of y'all have been sitting in silence amongst your elders and they're not hearing you, and it's not because you're not being loud enough. I promise you. You are not supposed to talk to them. And I hate to say that, but some of us, our elders, did us a good service by not bothering to perform like they cared about what the fuck we had to say. Some of us are supposed to be the new elders, bitch. And I'm at that point. Some of us were supposed to be the new elders. That's why we didn't have nobody teaching us nothing. That's why we went through all this life experience. Seems so strange. Bitch, it's because you're not supposed to fucking go yet. You're supposed to pass that shit down. You're supposed to share what the fuck you learned and go. And I feel like it's a lot of older people angry, stressed, fucked up, and they cannot release. And I hope that some of them find a way. I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope they do, because I've been able to release so much, and I'm young as fuck, and I've been through a lot of crazy shit, and I cannot imagine carrying all the shit that I carried, all the shit that I'm still carrying without any release. My God, but I know it's my elders. I know my elders is crying too. Like sometimes when we be crying, bitch, we crying the tears of our grandma who could not even show that she was hurt. Could not even tell nobody that she was hurting. Cause she tells somebody she hurting. Next thing she know, she getting beat. Next thing she know, all her business down the street. Next thing she know, somebody done told their husband, and now the husband's done talked, and now the man feeling embarrassed. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all right the fuck now. Some of y'all need to tell your story. Some of y'all got books you're sitting on. Some of y'all got chapters, anthologies of so much information that we need to hear. And I pray that you hear me in this moment like you need to speak. And some of y'all been writing here in your journal. I'm so proud of you, all you journalers. Some of y'all been writing poetry, been writing love notes to yourselves. I'm so proud of y'all. Like, I know it. I know some of y'all have really been pouring love into yourselves, and that's so fucking good. When y'all figure it out, like, when y'all really figure out that the love was always inside you, it's over for your ops. Like, it's really over for them. Because some of us really don't realize, like, bitch, we were literally created in love. Like, bitch, think about it. Think about it. Where did we come from? Busting nuts. Like, come on. Like, look at you. You are a whole nut that made it, bitch. Like, let's rejoice. That's my motherfucking politic. And somebody asked me about God, baby. I truly believe that we have to focus on what has been here before us. And what has been here before us is the native folk, and they knew good and goddamn well that this motherfucking shit was magical. They knew it was spirits and all of this shit. And just like you are a spirit that will be here too, I need you to remember that, like, this shit is all an act of love. Like, literally, community care. Like, the earth we live in is loving on us. Taste the air. You see how the air free? You see how the colonizer couldn't get the air? Colonizer got the motherfucking earth, got the sea, got the water. Wait till the colonizer get the air, bitch. And they think about it too, trust me, bitch. That's why they in the helicopters, bitch, trying to see how they can get it from the top. I'm telling you, bitch. Ain't nothing created without trying to exploit more shit. They done created planes, all types of shit. They trying to figure out how to steal the air next. I'm telling you. Exactly. Not like, listen, like, look at this person Trump talking about how two women, how he would love to be a voyeur while he watches two women be happiness machines for him. I'm telling y'all, it's three roles for a woman in a man's life: a mama, a whore, a virgin. Which one are you? Consider that. Just consider that, because this man literally saying he need two whores immediately. Listen to what they say. It's tragic, but it's the truth. What did a virgin do for a man? I'm glad you asked. So, because we live in the father state, we live in a patriarchy, the children are not safe. The children are not seen as coming from the father unless the father can use the children for his own image. That's why some of y'all will never be claimed by your father, because you being claimed by him don't help him in the world. He wants to be perceived as a man with a virgin or a mother. If you're a whore to him, you'll know because he stops speaking to you after he fucks you. When men are perceiving whores, they are only perceiving them in the moment before climax. I want you to listen to me here. It's a lot of men that are unable to care deeply about you until they motherfucking nut, or until they get inside of you. Once they nut, you don't matter anymore because you were just a utility. When I say a man wants a slut, what I should really say is he would like a hole to dump a nut inside of. And I mean this as not disparaging because I am a slut, but I mean this as someone who's a sex worker. Like, it's very obvious at this point that men are perceiving women or people with vaginas rather, and not just people with vaginas, because the butthole can yank. I just want to put that out there right now. Buttholes can yank. Everyone has a butthole, and so just putting that out there that if your butthole is alive, it can yank. So not you hope your daughter never comes across this. Here's my thing. I'm crying. Wait. See, Pamela saying I'm speaking about my own nasty experiences is funny. I just want to be candid with y'all that I used to be a church girl who read her Bible and it didn't matter. So I just want you to know that you can be a church girl that reads your Bible, um, and you can still become a slut. And I want you to know that I've never been happier. Being a slut works for me. I'm happy being a slut. I'm happy being a whore, a trollop. Absolutely. What up, love? And with that also being said, I think that it's important for us to remember that being sexual is human, it's natural. That's why we have sexual organs. But it's also natural for people to be asexual. It's okay for people to not be desiring sex at all. It's okay for people to not want to deal with genitalia or even hear about it. So I want people to realize that there's many modes to be on. There are people that don't feel comfortable talking about sex. That's okay. But I do think that, like, low key, if I was gonna be a therapist, I'd probably be a sex therapist, just because I feel like there's a lot of people that are scared of their own sexuality, and then connecting with another person even more shameful. And I find one of the great releases in life is a nut busted, is it not? And so, with that being said, for the folks out there that are feeling ashamed, that are feeling, like what you like is stressing you out, just keep in mind that, we're in captivity. So, what you like, probably saw it on a show or something. Whatever the fuck you're sexually into, but you definitely saw it on TV. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. And it's unfortunate because some of us have been really programmed to like some weird shit. And when I say weird, I just mean some shit that leaves us feeling disconnected sexually, to where we don't, we're not comfortable. And I'll name something for myself. I feel like I really appreciate domination in sex. I really appreciate the idea of someone doing something like really like strong willed sexually. But at the same time, there's times where after I nut, I feel terrible because I'm just like, yo, this was some savagery. But at the same time, that's what I'm liking. So there are moments where I'm just kind of like, am I fucked up? And sure, there are definitely times where I feel like I am fucked up. But I'm trying to be gentle with myself and acknowledge that, like, we live in a society that really loves violence. And I don't watch a lot of action movies, you feel me? I don't really watch anything that's going to be too thrilling. I watch some horror, but there's nothing. I mean, and maybe that's part of it too. Like, I like a little risk, a little fear in sexual experience. And, like, I think, again, part of that being displayed can be a lot. Like after I nut, I'm just like, whoa, what's happening here? Like after I come, I'm just like, whoa, like I wouldn't want to see this unless I was horny. But again, just the ways that like sexuality and the disconnect from like what is getting you off. And again, I know I'm not the only person. Oh, people who shame me for sex work, I think it's like, it's partly sad because it's like, it's not affecting anybody. But on the other hand, it's like, as I said, we live in a world that sees women in so many different modes. But the thing is, if and this is how this whole shit works. If men tell the good girls that they hate sluts, they can go fuck a slut. And if she tells anybody, the good girls will be like, oh, I knew it. You're such sluts. I knew y'all were after my man. Whole time, that man's gonna fuck that slut, man. He wants to fuck that slut. But here's the thing. If he tells the good girls, if you be a good girl, we won't call y'all sluts, then the good girls are invested in not being sluts. They're invested in shaming others because they don't want to be that. So when they shame the baby mamas, what we're not thinking about when we join in as non-men, that like those men left those women. Those women are abandoned. When we say we don't want to be a baby mama, what are we really saying? We don't want a man to abandon us, right? Because there's nothing that woman did wrong. In fact, she did everything right, didn't she? She was a partner, a lover, a homie, a friend, a wife. Sometimes not even a wife. A girlfriend. A legacy generator. An heir creator. Like, let's be fucking candid. Like, a lot of times women are doing everything right and they're not getting they're not getting their needs met. And then a lot of them leave that man, finally. And then now they're a baby mama. Baby, they're a survivor. Reba, bitch. Like, they're actually like a final girl. Like, they're actually a main character. They're actually Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But do we see them in that light? No. We see them as women who have lost something for the best, obviously. But to the outside looking in, a lot of femmes look at other femmes who don't have their needs met and think it must be something. And again, patriarchy will tell us all the time, go to church, cover up. We won't treat you as bad as the whores. We won't call you a slut. And one thing that I realized late in life is that being a slut is more fun. Simply put, being a good girl takes effort. I don't have it. And I don't want to perform for patriarchy to signal to any women that this is how they should be too. I don't think so. I don't agree. I think that there are some women that are going to perform and get the benefits of performing for men and the male gaze. But I've been really thinking about that, how the colonizer's imagination means that the colonizer has a head with eyes. And so I'm trying to remind myself that I want to live outside of the colonizer's gaze. I want the colonizer to be confused when he sees me. I want the colonizer to be confused when he hears me. I'm thinking about it like that. If the colonizer has perceived what I can perceive, right? That means that I already know something that he don't. I know that things can change. The colonizer expects me not to believe that. The colonizer actually expects me to believe that I have no power. Especially once you start to learn about anti-blackness, I truly believe that that's another layer of anti-blackness attack, is trying to understand why anti-blackness is occurring. That's a whole nother layer of anti-blackness. And so many of us, my God, there were so many moments where I was just reading, trying to understand, how did white people get here? The internet can be so cruel, can it? We can get so much information. Love, you're killing it. Thank you. Ed, get Ed out of here. Am I into more than one guy at a time? Honestly, I tried to be poly, but I'm not good at it. I'm really monogamous as fuck. I hate that about me. I wish I could love many people, but I'm only able to like be like flirty with many people, but romantically, I want one person. Like definitely. I want to be having still healthy friendships and shit and connect with other people, have flirts, crushes. Sure. But romantically, I really don't want more than one person. I just feel like it's a lot to get close with one person. I can't even imagine trying to juggle multiple people. It's too much. Glitch P1, please give me more insight because, again, as someone who was socialized to be a girl and just decided that wasn't for me and that I was just gonna take the pieces of femininity that I wanted to take and take the pieces of masculinity that I wanted to take, and I've decided to just do that. I am realizing that there are a lot of men who are socialized to harm women. That unfortunately, because you may have been in a household where a man barely did anything, you may think that that is your birthright as well. And I hate to tell y'all this, but some of you men don't see it, but some of you have stolen from your mothers too. And you don't think so, but some of y'all mothers are so angry because your father stole and then you stole right after him. And maybe, that's not your fault. Maybe it's not your fault. But I'm definitely dealing with a man who saw his mom deal with losers. And he decided, well, I'm not going to be a loser like them. But he's still a loser in his own way. And he realizing that. And I don't mean that to be disparaging, but I think more men need to be held accountable when they're moving like a loser. When they're moving like they don't want to have anything. When they don't want to fucking be anything. When they really are doing the bare minimum. Again, I've had to tell a man in my life several times, you're being better than the men you've seen. You're not being the best man you could be. And even that labor of having to cheerlead a man, that is unpaid. So, yeah, it's a lot of women that's going to start just getting paid because being around y'all is labor. Being around men is laborious. Most people don't even hate men, they hate the power y'all have, and they also hate the ways that you're able to skirt accountability when really holding you accountable would be the bare minimum. There being consequences would be the bare minimum. These are things that men don't have to deal with as much. And again, we don't live in the society that tells us that we are worthy, that we're precious. We just don't live in that society. And so men also live in that society. Men live in a society that never tells them that they're precious. And if the society does, it's because they're attractive, they're good at sports, they're from a wealthy family, they have independent wealth. A lot of men's success and attention is really based on what they have, tangible. And I don't mean to say that femmes don't have the same situation happening. What I'm trying to offer is that in a patriarchy, men are not really as powerful as they have told themselves. And so, unfortunately, there are a lot of men who believe that they have more power, and the men that believe that they don't have power, or the men that believe that their power is being stolen, those are the loudest men right now. The men that are angry at not getting their wife, aka happiness machine, aka bang maid, a maid you can fuck. A lot of men are upset about that. And it's unfortunate because what they're not realizing is there's an opportunity here to be a partner. But a lot of men saw what their daddy got. A lot of men saw what their grandpa got. Think about it. This is an issue that a lot of women have right now, is that we don't have any leaders that are not being caretakers to men. There are a lot of women who really believe that that is the whole point of us being here, is to bring in babies and to raise them with our husbands. Anger is not a male trait. Anger is not a male trait. Anger is a human trait. All humans have anger. The issue is that men perceive their anger as righteous, always. That is why we have so many white school shooters. That's why so many white people shoot schools and buildings up, because they believe their anger is more important than other people's lives. There is a big issue with anger right now, especially in the States. There are so many white people angry. And again, as more people of color unlearn the socialization of white supremacy, there will be more white people shooting. There will be more white people angry. And I want y'all to consider that the anger white people feel is intrinsically linked to their narcissism. Think about it. Why would somebody create white supremacy? Let's let's reverse engineer. Let's reverse engineer. Why would someone need to tell someone who they are? Why would white people need propaganda to perpetuate that they are the best if they were? Why does white supremacy need black people? Whiteness created blackness. Why did it do that? Why would you create a perpetual enemy, a perpetual op? We have to start paying attention to the stories that we're told, and who's the villain, and who told us the story, who told us who the villain was. We must pay attention, especially now. Exactly. Catmull, thank you for sticking with this thread with me, because it's very fascinating in ways. It's disgusting, but it's fascinating nonetheless that whiteness would create so many different ops. The way the white man says that the Asian man is good at math. Why did he say that? Was it because Asian people maybe pushed back on white supremacy in a way? Or was it because Asian people have white people automatically in their people? And so maybe they found a way to make the Asians feel connected to racism without hurting them in their minds. White supremacy, the master is masterful, bitch. Think about it. Think about the quote unquote idea of a positive stereotype. Just think about it. What would be the point to say that Asian people are good at math? What would be the point of giving a generalization to certain people? And then also, when we say Asian, are we talking about dark-skinned Asian people? Because we must be candid that deep dark-skinned people are found everywhere, that there are black people everywhere. And granted, the concept of blackness was created by white supremacy, and so therefore whiteness is actually, or blackness is quite homegrown to America. And that is why when Tyla said she's not black, what she was more so offering was that blackness doesn't exist there, and also the concept of blackness does not include mixed people at this point. And I know some people will not agree, but there are a lot of mixed people who are shifting out of taking up space in black spaces. There are a lot of mixed people who are realizing that we are whole mixed people. We're not fractions of blackness. And so we must operate like we can hear black people when they talk about the harm, the pain, the stress of being around us, mixed people. It's important. And see, Ed, you bringing that up, I appreciate that. And even saying that, what color are these people? Are they dark skinned? Are they deep dark skin? Because again, when people say Asian, they're a lot of times excluding deep dark skinned Asian people who exist. A lot of times when people are talking about Asian people, they're saying people who are oftentimes very light, pale Korean. They're usually not talking about Chinese people. So I just want to bring it out. Listen, I'm not here to talk about being a mixed person. I'm just saying that, like, there's layers to shit. Seeing the idea that skin bleaching is normal. It's not normal. It is the colonizer's imagination. The colonizer knew that if he told you white was right, why wouldn't you do anything, even kill yourself to become him? The colonizer, he dreamed of all of this. This is his dream. His dream is that he could convince you and me that he was beautiful. Don't that sound like, bitch, I might be doing too much, but bitch, I be thinking about how in the Bible they say the devil was the most beautiful angel and how God loved him so much. And it never sat right with me because it's like, what kind of story is this? Like, this story just has some layers to it that just like kind of threw me off. I was like, hold on. So God had created his ass. And no, I'm definitely high. But it's just like, wait, so God had created the devil and then cast his ass out. And then they tried to say that the devil, like Lucifer, was an excellent singer. He was a beautiful singer. Again, I find it fascinating. Is again, the colonizer very smart, not smart, but very masterful, because it's all manipulation. You're meant to believe there's some intelligence there, especially when you give me a long ass book. Absolutely. They say the devil's over music, which I find fascinating because music is a technology that's ancient. Indigenous people have been singing for a while. It makes me think about how white people probably seen indigenous people singing was fucked up because it wasn't that and his kingdom I shall reign. I'm so sorry, bitch. It just makes me think of motherfucking going to white people church. Rock of Gibraltar, cleft for me. I swear to God, bitch. Like the way the white people be singing in the church. Mm, it makes sense though. Again, Solo, you've been here for a long time. You clearly like this shit. Tay Bubba, I need to do more research on Skyfather. My childhood in church weeps. Listen, I'm glad I forgot some of the lore about Skyfather. It could keep on being a bad angle. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Have you considered that it's okay if you don't like what you're looking at and that you can go elsewhere? Have you considered that? Damn, they're so angry. Why are y'all so angry? Can y'all just go to church? Go to church. Go to church, baby. The original Bible isn't the one they have for us anyway, especially not the King James. I hear you. Again, I'm sure we haven't read the original text of a lot of people. Like, I believe that. But with that being said, I genuinely do believe that there is many layers to anti-blackness and weirdness and strangeness. Baby, it's the middle of the night. People are asleep. If you'd like to be a mod, you could be one. But people got work. It's about to be Monday. Or it is Monday. So if people want a mod, that's cool. But, you know, I know people got lives and shit. And having to read all the hate comments, that's a lot. I'm grateful for anybody who mods, but no, love, I see you doing your thing. You're killing it. You're doing a great job. I just want to say though that like I understand why there's not a lot of people. Exactly. You're exactly. People are busy. And I'm just ignoring them. I feel like, hey, if folks are getting annoyed by the trolls, you can block the trolls on your own. And also, if the trolls are annoying you, please know that a lot of times when people are spending their time in lives just talking shit at people, that's what they're feeling inside, babe. It's unfortunate. What up, Whitney? Hey, boo. But I try not to give them too much energy because, again, we've all been in a place where we're being aggy, we're being kind of shitty, kind of stanky. We've all been there. I try not to let it get to me because, again, I'm not there. And if I was in a space where, like, somebody's words could really take me down, I wouldn't even come here. So please know that there's nothing anybody could say in this chat that will really hurt me. Not because I'm unable to be hurt, but because, I've been fat for a long time. I've heard almost every joke. I feel like I haven't heard any new jokes. Like real talk. Like the fat jokes, there's rarely any new ones. I also feel like the weirdness, I know part of it is because, again, I need some of y'all to hold that I'm not a skinny, like, conventionally attractive person. Like, I'm hot to myself and I'm hot to other people, which is cool, but I really am hated because I exist. And it's unfortunate, but the truth of the matter is like, if some of y'all came up on here on cam, and if you know what your privileges in life are or not, you may experience what I'm experiencing, or worse. So I just want you to know that, like, people perceiving you as a not thin white person who has money, who's like making you feel connected to wealth, it can be a slippery slope because some people watch lives to disassociate and disconnect. In this live, we're oftentimes connecting, and that presence can be intimidating. And again, it's not about people hating me, it's more about people not liking themselves, feeling maybe powerless in a world where they don't have much. And so, an open chat box, it's inviting. Again, some of us don't have people to talk to. Some of us don't have connections with elders. That's okay. Like, I don't want anyone to feel ashamed because they're not behaving in a way that I would appreciate. But I do think that it's valid to just acknowledge that, some of us are just going through some shit, and it might feel good to just be shitty. you know? Oh, Kara, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. You're healing, I'm crying. Here's the thing. I'm definitely not trying to be a roaster. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to be liked or anything. I'm just trying to be a person that's existing on the internet. I know all of us are people. Most of us probably aren't bots. So, it just makes sense to be connecting. I know it feels like the last season of Earth for you too, huh? So, as I said, I used to think being mean to bullies or people that say unkind things was the way, but now I'm realizing that I actually want to actually connect with you where I'm at, and I love my life. I'm happy. So, if you're not, I'm sorry. And I really hope that you find some happy stuff, or like at least do something that makes you feel good. Unless making fun of people or harming people makes you feel good, then I really hope you get out of that environment. Because usually when people do shit like that, they're in a very fucked up environment, and I would know. So I'm just really hoping that whoever is around you lowering the standards for you, I hope you can raise them on your own, or at least with people that love you and care for you, like friends. Think about how your friends treat you. Think about how your best friend treats you. I hope that you hold that standard for yourself. I do. That's okay. It's okay if the trolls is on the live. Thank you, Myrtle. Listen, Nubia, if you're overwhelmed, just block the people you don't want to see. But yeah, I'm feeling good though. I'm cool. I feel like the chat is probably sleep. We have to consider what time it is. It's the wee hours in the morning. We're getting people from from out of state, out of the country. We're getting people from different countries at this point because we're no longer in the awake hours for the United States. So let's consider that. We're getting people from different countries. We're getting people from out of the country. We're getting people who don't usually come here. We're getting new people. It's all different types coming in. Word. Yeah, it's going to be all different types of people coming. We shifting, boo. You know? But also, it's the middle of the night on a Sunday. Let's consider people are working in the morning and they probably can't make it to the live. It's okay. Um, I mean, Marie, shout out to you. I'm in the U.S. and I'm awake as well. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to offer that some of the regular people that's not here could be asleep. I don't even know what time it is in the United States. Does anybody know what time it is in New York? Not your partial. You funny as hell. I don't work till 2:30 tomorrow, so I'm actually chilling. I appreciate you, Bobby. Thank you so much. It's 3. Is it really 3 o'clock in the morning? It's not 3 o'clock in the morning in New York. No. Damn. Yikes. That's funny as fuck. And I'm wide awake too. Mushrooms is crazy. I swear, this shit is fucking sativa as hell. But I feel like I probably needed to be up. Y'all are adorable. Not in it's Monday. I know. Fuck. I have so much shit to do today. I'm so not ready for it. I'm not ready for today. I wasn't ready yesterday neither. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, y'all, but that's my last one. Promise. I gotta go wash my face. I did not wash my face last night, which was crazy. I had to wash my face today. But sometimes, bitch. Not today isn't ready for me. Ed, you funny as hell. Yeah, I know. It's 2:02 in St. Louis. Okay, St. Louis. How you feeling in St. Louis? Not 5. Damn, potato. I pray you get some rest. Yeah, I'm gonna try to sleep. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Albert, thank you for the coin. I appreciate. Not don't sleep at this point. I mean, maybe get a little cat nap. Just get a little cat nap. Not she's always going to the post office. It's true. Listen. Yeah, do a little nap. Do a little nap if you can. Honestly, for me, if I bust a nut, I could usually take a little nap right after. So maybe just do some self love and enjoy yourself. You deserve it. You're worth it, friend. I know I'm gonna try to get me a little sleepy sleep, but I know I'm gonna pack up before I go. Cause low key, bitch, I have a tiny suspicion that I could be getting evicted tomorrow. I don't know for sure. I could have until the 20th of October. I could have until tomorrow. I don't know. I made it up that it's tomorrow in my head, but I'm calling the office again. I already called them. They did not return my call, so I'm gonna call them tomorrow. I'm hoping I get to sleep until noon. Pray on it. Pray on it. But yeah, I'm still looking for a new apartment. I really hope it works out. Like I was listening to Ari Lennox' new apartment. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna put that shit on again because it really, mm, it just reminded me that like I'm gonna have another place to live. This is just it for right now, but this ain't it, you know? And I want to start thinking about it and dreaming about it because the next place I live, I want to be be so comfortable. I want to have an office, like a little place. Do my business so I can turn off the work energy at some point and turn it on when I need to. I want the coziest bed. The coziest bed. But one of them foam toppers, bitch. Maybe gel, bitch. Honestly, only the best for my back. Bitch, not that we're dumping cat shit in front of your house. I'm happy you caught them, but ew. That's fucked up. It's 3:04 in New York. Oh, it's hoe time? I love it. Not touch cactus. Ed, you're silly. Y'all be good. Love, you're killing it. Thank you so much. Listen, I was about to come through and knock his little ass out too. I wish you could have a cookout. Low-key, y'all, I'm planning an event, like, in my head. It's not real yet, but I want to do, like, a mushroom gathering so bad, and I want to bring y'all so bad. Like, I want y'all to come to the mushroom kickback so fucking bad, bitch. I'm going to get me another charging brick so we could be out in nature together, but I really like that idea, like, in terms of, like, just being able to go on location, you know? Because I don't be taking y'all nowhere. And that should be bothering me because we used to go places and we don't go nowhere now. And that's sad. So we're going to figure it out. I think I got next Tuesday off. Thank you, Quantum. I hope you're having a good night. I feel really beautiful. I feel like I did it. Like, I was going to make the top a little smaller, but I feel like the bigger braids, I think, have a little bit more personality. The only thing is, I wish I would have went a little less crazy in the middle because I feel like I made this shit hella bigger than it needed to be. Like, it's giving ethereal fairy queen, but it's a lot. Put you in my back pocket. You funny as hell, Ed. You know what? You're funny. I want a cat so bad. Yo, imagine being here for hours and, like, just staring at me and being a weirdo. I don't think you're an asshole for throwing the cat litter back on their porch, but I would definitely have brought the footage to the police and let them handle it. Just because, again, I don't want you to get shot out here, friend, because it's not worth it. I mean, I feel like I would get a cat that has, like, short nails or something of the sort. Like, I don't feel like I'm ever gonna have nice furniture. Like, I'm actually okay with that. Like, I feel like I'm not, like, that bougie. I feel like I want to have a super cozy armchair. I'd be willing to spend some good money for that. But I'm cool with getting stuff secondhand or thrift. Like, I love the Restore. If you're trying to decorate your house on a budget, Restore. It's called the Restore. It's bomb. They have, like, donated motherfucking doors, windows, and it's all for a pretty chill price. And, like, for people that are doing the home restore, house restore on their own, you can find a lot of supplies to renovate easily. And it's ran by Habitat for Humanity. So I think it's also like a tax write-off because it looks like you're giving money to charity. So just a PS on that. It's a charity hardware slash supply shop that has things, you know, anything from tiles, random tiles that obviously people had left over. So if you need some tiling work, it's also a great place to go if you're a mixed media artist and you like to work with, like, construction tools, wood, glass. Those places can be helpful to get large buckets of epoxy, resin. Just look into it if you're an artist or some sort of builder. Thank you, Luke. I had a really cute time tonight, though. Like, everything was really good. I just appreciate y'all for being here and being present. Thank y'all for the coin. Honestly, I got like $30 tonight, which was crazy. Also, I'm getting my Google check. Actually, bitch, I need to go check my fucking account because my Google check's supposed to be here any day. I'm excited as fuck. I'm excited as fuck, bitch, honestly, because, like, the way my videos be getting demonetized, I be playing music and shit. Woo, child, I swear. And it's not saying that I'm living off the YouTube shit, because I'm not. Like, the YouTube money has always been a nice little surprise. Like, it's never been what I'm relying on, thankfully. But it's definitely reformatted. I'm like, they used to give out the money way easier. Now it's like they going out their way to make sure you can't get the money from the ads, which is crazy because it's not like you if you unless you have like the high quality service, you already know that you can't get away from the ads. So it's like I know they making money off of us, but they don't want all of us to get it. You can love God. I'm not against Sky Father. Y'all do what y'all do. I pray you get more information. That's all I can say. I was also raised in the Baptist faith. I was raised Christian. I escaped, and I'm really glad that I did. And I also want to tell my tale because, again, there are many people who will be raised in the Christian faith and may find out, like I did, that once you start to question your faith, once you start to question the point of it all, that's when you find that, like, that's the point of it all, exclusion. Isolation, power imbalances. It's unfortunate, but a lot of I am a part of the LGBTQIA, and again, I do believe that as someone who formerly was a Christian, not because they chose it, but because Christianity is seen as a default. It's seen as a way of behaving religiously. And again, the colonizer, the master is masterful, and he has found a way to get you to engage in religion in a way that benefits him. All right, most religions ain't asking you to give them no motherfucking money, bitch. Most people when they worship, they leaving something at an altar, but they not leaving money. Not always. Some people do leave money on the altar, but the money that people give to their deities is not going to a pastor, babe. Again, there's thieves. There's thieves. They've stolen religion. They've stolen something you and I engage in for free. And again, it's not our fault. Like, I need a lot of us to like remember that like shame is part of the master's plan. Us sitting feeling terrible and fucked up because we can't come up with an idea. Why the fuck will we be able to come up with an idea outside of the colonizer imagination? I want you to really think about that for a minute. We're literally inside of his fucking brain. We have to get out of that lens. We have to take them glasses off to see our situation. And so that's why tying it all in, this is why I fuck with plant medicine. As I said earlier in the live, I don't think that weed should be consumed in the way we consume it. And I know some people may think I'm a hypocrite, but I think as much as I smoke weed, I think I would know that we are consuming it in a way that we shouldn't be. I truly believe the best way to consume weed is through edible. I think it's through topical. I don't think we should be smoking weed as much as we do. I don't think we should even really be smoking it as much. I don't think we should be smoking it, period. I think that we should be eating it. I think we should be using it on our bodies. I think that we should be using it as a drink. Bye, boo. Exactly. Like I said, I'm smoking weed right now. I don't think we should be smoking weed. I don't. I'm smoking weed because I enjoy it. But I personally believe that the best way to take weed into your system is by eating it. Again, I think that two things can be true at once. People can be doing a thing and still acknowledge that it's not the best. Again, I want us to consider that there's no black and white, that there's no right or wrong. That sometimes what we think and what we believe is actually part of our system of life. Sometimes we're alive and we feel dead. That's two truths at once, right? So just consider that, like, sometimes we may be doing the thing that's right for us, could be wrong for others. That's okay. Keep praying to a he. I hear you. Mm. I'm with the native people as well. And the native people, you know what? One thing that Mio said, and Mio is someone that comes into the chat a lot. Mio said that one thing that really bothered the colonizer when he witnessed the native people was seeing fat people, disabled people, women, the elderly, children, all being regarded as precious, as important, as necessary, that everybody was loved. The colonizer was quite disgusted because the colonizer saw standards. The colonizer had to put an end to it. And again, I want us to just consider what kind of mindset the colonizer must have been in to see beautiful black and brown people and think, y'all aren't as beautiful as me, and y'all aren't as smart as me. There's why I ignore hate comments or mean comments, because most of you don't know me. And so for some of y'all to say certain stuff, it's really a report about you and how you feel about yourself. And some people don't realize that. Like, some people don't realize, like, when they're being quite mean or callous, they don't realize that they're actually telling someone where they're at. And I want y'all to start thinking about what you're telling people, like what you talk about, what you're sharing with others. How are you telling people where you're at? Just think about how you communicate with other people and like how you maybe go quick in the combo. Think about ways that maybe you don't really sit with what's being said to process. You're listening to respond. Think about ways that maybe you're not in the combo at all and they're just talking at you. Why don't you feel safe to say, hey, this isn't really grasping me. Give me a minute, I'm gonna come back. Think about the ways that we lie just to get through the moment. That's another way to die. I really hope y'all live and realize it's okay to say no. I actually don't have the energy for this. I actually am not available for this right now. I'm actually going to be unavailable at this time, but maybe we can reconnect at a later time. I would love that. There's ways to graciously say fuck you. There are ways, and I really hope that y'all figure it out, because again, what may be hard to hear is all of y'all that are here right now, you are going to be the elders someday. All of you that are here right now, you are going to be somebody's granny. You're going to be somebody's auntie. You're going to be somebody's older friend. And you must learn how to communicate with people that you actually don't have time for this, but in a way that actually communicates that you still care about what they're sharing, you know? Like, thank you so much for sharing this with me. I'm not sure what to say, but I'm so glad you told me. It's so small, right? But again, think about the ways that we've been socialized to just not really give a fuck that we don't have time for people. It can be an act at first and seem like you're performing at first. But just start thinking about how you're precious. Just start thinking about that. Take a moment to think about your preciousness. Think about how fucking important you are. When you start to really think about that, at some point, I pray, you'll start to notice other people are too. Other people are too. If I'm precious and I deserve XYZ, they're precious, they deserve XYZ. A lot of us are not operating from a mindset that other people are as worthy as us of all the good stuff. I think that that's what's going to help our world, honestly, is if we start really thinking that, maybe that person lowered their standards for you. Unfortunate. Let's get away from them. You feel me? Like, oh, that person spoke to me disrespectfully. They won't get another chance to speak to me, especially if there's no apology, especially if there's no acknowledgement, accountability, and change behavior. Like, let's start acknowledging like what it would take for someone to even get back to you, where the fuck you would even want to meet them. Like, just consider how precious you are. You are precious. And I want to treat you that way, and I hope you treat me that way as well. And I know I was going to do some card readings, but baby, I feel like we already read each other enough, didn't we? So I'm going to pull a card just for an outro. I'm going to pull three, but I'm just going to give you a little something. A little something. Because, baby, I've been missing my cards. And the way this work week about to go, I think I have Tuesday off, though. Thank fuck. Thank fuck. They only calling me in for one night shift and letting me go. Praise God. I am not the strongest soldier, bitch. It's the way that I'm slacking off at work, and I love it. Because it's like, I know they need my ass, but I'm not about to be top flight security of the world, Craig. I'm not. Ooh. Okay, babe. Okay, babe. Okay, babe. All right. First of all, this one of my favorite cards. Look this bitch up. Nine of Cups. This is a wish card. It's a card that is asking you to cry, scream, let it all out, wish, make your motherfucking wishes heard in your mind, speak it, write it. This is a card of mercy, okay? This card is not to be played with because this card comes out in a moment where all may seem lost. When we leave the eights, we getting out of our mind, bitch. We go on to the nines, and the nines are actually the end of the deck. People think that the tens is the end, but no. Tens is just a portal, actually. Tens is the portal. The one and the zero, that's a portal, bitch. And so, with that being said, some of y'all may be realizing some shit is done. Like, really done. Some of y'all may be realizing that there's no more tears left to cry. That there's really not, like, you can't even start to try to cry. You've already cried them all out. You may be realizing that you're angry as fuck. You may be realizing that, you know, you wish you would have cussed them out. Maybe you wish you would have cussed yourself out. Maybe you wish that you would have, had someone that loved you around you. Whatever you was wishing for before, bitch, fuck that wish. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to your past self. I'm just saying, like, that person was, like, fucking scared as hell. Sometimes the shit that we wish would happen is not what the fuck we really wish would happen. It's just what would be better than what's happening. So consider that for my Nine of Cups people, for the people that feel like, yo, I just need one wish to be fulfilled. Babe, take a deep breath. Ask for what you need. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I cry to the sky, I just feel more powerful, bitch. I don't know. It's just the Nancy in me. It's just the craft in me, bitch. But when I be like, enough, bitch, I be like, spirit. It's the way I be talking to spirit. I lied, bitch. I'm gonna smoke again. But it's the way I be talking to fucking spirit, bitch, and be like, spirit, I know you see this shit. I be asking spirit to acknowledge the foolishness all the time. Do the same, friends. Do the same. Now, the next card that I pulled was the Eight of Wands. Wands are air. Eight of Wands is one of my favorite cards. I know I said that about the first card. I said that about the first card because the wish card. Hello. Who don't want wishes? Bitch, I'm big into genies and fairies and shit. I love the idea that, the deck comes with a card that you could really just petition the angels. You know, it's the Nine of Cups is literally the angels waiting for you to plead your case. Why the fuck do you deserve your wish? Like, go hard, talk your shit, look in the mirror, let the people know, let the spirit know. But the Eight of Wands, bitch, ooh, Great of Wands is strike. I'm pretty sure Eight of Wands is Jupiter in Sagittarius. Jupiter in Sag, I think. Luck in Sagittarius. And with that being said, Eight of Wands is another profound card because when you usually see it in the deck, you just see the wands. You don't see nobody. You just see pure force, pure fight, pure go. And I could be wrong. It could be Mars in Sagittarius, but I'm pretty sure it's. I know it's fire, because it's wands. It's always fire. I want to say it's Jupiter in Sag. I think that's what I already said. Yeah, I think I said that already. Again, I'm just doing a card read for outro, and just for some hope for some people. So as I said, we got the Nine of Cups, which is a wish card. If anybody got something they've been wishing on, bring it up. Bring it up. Say your wishes out loud. Be more loud about your wishes. Eight of Wands. Wands are fire. And the Eight of Wands is literally eight wands flying across the sky. It is literally speed. It is fire. It is fast. It is, fire can grow stuff. Fire can also burn shit down. Having a lot of quickness. I think this card is called Quickening. Having access to a lot of power and speed, it can be exciting, but I believe in divine timing. Some of y'all may be trying to rush some shit, make some shit go faster. There's no need. Shit's already probably moving too fast for you. Slow down. That's what that card always reminds me. Slow down. Especially if you want there to be accuracy. All right, if you want crazy power and passion, go ahead. But Libra popped out. Miss Venus, Justice card, okay? The ruler of this card is Venus, all right? Look at them little scales. And you see that motherfucking sword? Yes. Let's just be mindful. Justice. There will be payback. There will be payback. Consider what you up to. Consider what you're doing. Consider how you communicate with people. The motto for Libra is we are, which means that we're not alone. And what I'd like to say about the entire reading, from the Nine of Cups being wishes and the Eight of Wands being strike, and then the Justice card reminding us that we're all here together. May our wishes connect us in our fight. May we dream and wish collectively of a world that we don't have to recover from. May the way that we fight actually be in alignment with our wishes. Perhaps justice may come when we actually see each other as equal, as working towards peace, community, care, love. Maybe it's easy to do things quickly. Maybe it's much harder to slow down for some of us. It's been hard for me to slow down at times, but I'm trying to remember that I'm having an experience here. So are you. And I know that, like, the colonizer told us, like, get a job, get married, have babies, like all these things on this checklist that we didn't create. And I'm trying to remind myself that living outside the colonizer's gaze means throwing that away. Actually living versus expecting myself to behave in these milestones I did not create. add a layer of gender and sex, think about the checklist. Doesn't it get longer? Add black. Doesn't the list get longer of things you must do? I want us to consider that the colonizer is keeping us busy. But I don't want us to be busy. I want us to be existing and present. And so I leave you I leave you with that reading. I want you to think about your identity. The 8 is mental. So lowest of keys, bitch. It's the way our mental is probably not as sharp because it's going so fast. I think about our wishes going unheard and how it can cause even more stress. The magic doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like there's anything happy in the world. That can impact you, but I promise you there's still magic. I know it doesn't seem like it. I try to remember that magic is in little things and big things. Like the smallest thing that's magical is that we get to still breathe for free. I think about how the colonizer has not taken our air yet or figured out how to put it in a bottle and sell it on the vending machine. Because they done figured it out with water, haven't they? The colonizer told you it's $3 for one gulp of water. The colonizer never bottled water back in the day. But now the colonizer knows you'll pay for it in a bottle. Even though you can go anywhere and bottle it for free. The colonizer knows that he can serve you poison, aka Dasani. And hey, if that's all they got, that's what you'll take. But then he can also serve you core or fucking smart water. Like the colonizer is fucking diabolical. He has found a way to make certain waters seem better. The colonizer has taken a free resource and propagandized it to the point where you will not drink water if it's not in a certain bottle. Sweetie, I pray the colonizer never figures out how to bottle air. Because it's going to be motherfuckers talking about some bitch. You drinking that? You drinking that air? I'd never drink that air. Bitch, you drinking that Poland Springs air? No, bitch. I got that Boone's Farm air. I'm so sorry, bitch. I just see Wild Turkey making some air bad as hell. Like, I just see Wild Turkey twisted air. It's gonna be air for alcoholics, bitch. It's gonna have a hint of tobacco in it. I'm telling you, babe. And I hate that. But sometimes, bitch, the colonizer imagination is such a fascinating place. Absolutely. Absolutely. Quantum, yes. Your imagination is how you combat the motherfucking colonizer. The colonizer hasn't thought of everything. That's a beautiful thought. The colonizer never imagined Afrofuturism, Afro-surrealism. Why would he? The colonizer is invested in black people not existing very long. The colonizer is very much invested in killing black people and destroying black lives. So the idea that there's black people in the future, a la Afrofuturism, the colonizer could have never thought that motherfucker that black. The colonizer is like, black people got a camera, and they were able to create set design to create themselves in the future. The colonizer can't even believe it. Think about it. The colonizer tried to make Black Panther. Think about that. The colonizer is created Black Panther. They did have some help with non-colonized people, but not much. And as much as I love Black Panther, I just want to hold that like the Black Panther is confusing because I want to fuck Killmonger. At no point do I see Killmonger as truly an enemy, but it's the way that they wrote it to make him seem that way. And obviously, I'm doing a lot of subtext reading, but you know what? Getting into tarot, one resource that I can give you that will help you quickly is if you type in HOWCAST space ELLEN Goldberg. It's an old white lady. She studied tarot, and the way that this woman has given me not just card meanings, but also zodiac placements, like names of cards, because each tarot card has a name. So just putting that out there, that like tarot is extremely in depth. Every tarot card has a astrological placement. Everybody's birth chart is a tarot spread. You have tarot spreads naturally connected to you. Um, they're easy to find. You can go online and type in, I want to say like uh, tarot, like birth chart tarot spread calculator or something. You can find it. That's how I figured out my sun in Capricorn was the Four of Pentacles. That's sun in Capricorn. So just putting it out there that everybody has. Um, Victor, I would love to do a reading for you. Just let me know. Like again, I'm open to everything and anything. I am absolutely going through financial ruin at this moment. But you know, I'm making it look cute. But also, I've done incredible work behind the scenes to where like if things go left, which I'm partly expecting, but I'm also really hoping that like things work out in my favor. However, they've worked out in my favor for a long time, and if they don't, I accept. If they don't, with that being said, I feel like the way shit about to be looking moving forward, babe, just pray for us all. Cause it's the way my job is literally finding people a place to stay, and I don't know what I knew, but I knew something, bitch. Quantum, quantum, quantum. White supremacy cannot tell certain stories. White people can't tell certain stories and they want to so bad. White supremacy is so angry right now because the story is not with them. It has never been. Whiteness has spent a long time lying, and now they're having a longer time sitting with shame. And unfortunately, white shame is what we're dealing with. A lot of white racists today, they can't call it. They can Google all day. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for anti-blackness. There's no reason. And so for white people to be racist today, it shows an extreme lack of curiosity, extreme lack of empathy, compassion, humanity. Like at this point, bitch, we could read about why anybody did anything, but we really still can't read why white supremacy created, why white people created blackness. And that'll never be, AI will never figure that one out, bitch. And that's why, not that's why, but that's a huge reason why people of color, especially black people, are necessary. Because there's no way to tell the story without black people. Like, black people are intrinsic to the story. And white people hate that reality. White people, like especially younger white people. And again, I'll say this: just like there are young black people today who are bearing the brunt of white supremacy yesterday, there are going to be white people who are harmed by white supremacy in a way that white people never imagined. And it's not one person of color fault, but white people will deflect. And unfortunately, for a lot of older white people, no one ever taught them how to sit with the shame of whiteness. No one ever taught white people to sit with the shame of being lied on. Think about who knows what it's like to be lied on. Who do white people need to listen to right now? I'm just saying, think about the shame of someone telling you who you are. But there's a difference between someone telling you who you are because they need you to be that, and someone telling you who you are because they need you to access reality so that we can all live. There's layers to it, but it's very fascinating. Like, white people are actively acting out because they're having no choice but to sit with the reality that their forefathers actively killed people to suppress. And so the colonizer, as I said, he has an imagination and he was dreaming of so many evil, terrible things. And one thing that the colonizer failed to consider was that one day, all of the things you imagined, black people would be aware of. And then they'd make moves against you. And again, the colonizer always knew he was scared. He didn't know, but his behavior showed his fear. And so, because we're dealing with scared people, not evil people, scared people, there's too many fucking variables. Because think about it when you're scared. Think about when the killer in the house. What do bitches do? Everything, anything. And white people are so caught up thinking that everybody else the killer. Like they're in delusion. And that is why it's so dangerous to be alive and non-white. They're delusional people because their forefathers have put them in a delusion and not one of them can get the fuck out. No African king sold me, sir. I'm American as fuck. Homegrown. Listen, white supremacy needs to root my communication in some chattel slavery wet dream. And the reality is, I'm as American as pie, bitch. Hell yeah. I was raised here, born here, and I know all about the custom. And that's the reason why white people so mad today. Because, baby, we are freer than any other people of color in any other place. And I don't say that without fear in my motherfucking heart. Because I know that having power in this colonized fucking hell realm, it ain't good, bitch. It's we're unfortunately colonizers by proxy, and a lot of people of color don't want to think about that. Like we're living in the Fire Nation. Even the lowest waged person here has more, and that is why people do anything to come here. You think that they don't want to build a wall to stop people coming in? They do, but bitch, they need new chattel. That's the issue. The issue is the people of color won't stay in their fucking place, so they need new people who can't speak the language so they can marginalize them. Because at this point, bitch, people of color have been what? Liberating, decolonizing, getting away. And so now they gotta find some people that don't even understand what they're experiencing. They do. This is not me trying to infantilize people who are not from America. It's me trying to explain what the colonizer believes. He believes he can bring you here. Look at this man yelling Trump in the comments. Like, isn't that fascinating? Like, it's so fascinating to watch them. Like, he literally went from saying that I was sold by African kings to just screaming Trump. This is what I mean. Like, the anger, the delusion, it's so powerful. It's so powerful, but it's not more powerful. And we know because look at our forefathers. Look at the past. Look at the past, and I'm especially talking to black Americans. Look at what your ancestors have done. They have fought so fucking hard, and the colonizer has a new imagination now. And now the colonizer's like, you know what? I'm gonna create new enslaved. The colonizer don't got a lot of good ideas, bitch. So that was always his idea. And honestly, he's always done this. So is it a new idea? It only seems new because he's choosing people that are not black American. And unfortunately, just like with Palestine, this is a moment. I'm going to tie it all back. The way to defeat bullies or to even defend yourself against them is not to become them. I'm speaking to my people of color. Us connecting with America and connecting with the identity of American over human, detriment, poor decision. But again, when you're non-white in America, subjugation is always on the table. And unfortunately, when you're harmed so long, you're put through so much, you start to think, well, I survived. I've heard some people of color in this country say things about the new migrants that scare me because some of y'all think that your ancestors' trauma connects you to this shit. Your ancestors were not fighting to be American. Your ancestors were fighting for fucking freedom. What they got was becoming American. What they were sold was lies. So let's not sell lies to new people. Let's stand with them. Let's make it easy for them. Let's not harm them. Let's try to communicate with them. Let's use our translator apps that we have on our smartphones. Let's find ways to bridge gaps that our government is not. Let's find ways to communicate with people. Even Kamala talking about she want to help the middle class, and my friend on the phone telling me she middle class. I'm like, who the fuck is middle class? Like, I'm so sorry, but baby, it's looking thinner and thinner. But again, the pandering, like, there's a desire to make all of us American and unite under the identity of harming people who are not from here. Meanwhile, why are they here? What are they running from? I pray y'all do some research because America, a lot of times, is the rock and the hands that throw it and the hands that's hiding now. But living here, why would they tell us that? A lot of us aren't doing a lot of investigation. And honestly, protect your mental health, bitch. It's a lot of information that you don't need to know. I've watched some YouTube videos recently that I wish I could unwatch because I now know about another evil man. It's scary. It's scary to listen to people these days because you might fuck around and ingest some shit that you didn't need. So please start saying no. Start asking yourself, what do I want to do? Do I have time for this? Is this feeding me? Is this helping me in any way? Ask yourself. Because, friends, some of the stuff that we're doing is helping the colonizer. And it's terrifying because how the fuck are we going to know that we helped the colonizer? Who gonna tell us that? What elder is talking about how our behavior is colonized? Again, I just want to be the kind of elder that the younger people don't have to be like, that bitch lied to me. You know what I mean? Or like, that bitch kept the truth from me. Because I look at my elders real crazy right about now. Getting to 34. Looking around like, damn, I was supposed to figure all this out on my own? I don't think so. But again, it's not easy being the oldest daughter, and it's really not easy being the oldest daughter and having a white mama. It's just not, it's not realistic, bitch. A lot of us wasn't supposed to make it. But we did. We live to tell the tale, and we also get to share our story with others who have experienced similar things. And look at that. Now we're talking and relating and celebrating and sharing about how, our enemies or our mama tried to put some trauma in our body, but it ain't work. And maybe, yeah, we fucked up still, and we hurt, and we be making space for that grief, but we know that we didn't deserve that shit, and we know that our babies don't deserve that shit. I love that shit. One of my friends told me recently that they put their hands on their kid, and I wanted to say something so bad. But I started thinking about how some people really think that that's what they gotta do. And I really wanted... Yikes. I'm so glad my pussy is tucked in. Because y'all almost saw my chocha. But, it made me sad, but it also had me thinking about ways to communicate with them. Because, when you child free, everybody don't want to hear your thoughts about child raising. Even though, bitch, we all used to be kids, I'm pretty sure we all know what we could use. However, we don't all have the job of stewarding children through life. And I don't want to ever make it seem like I know what the fuck that's like, because I sure the fuck don't. But at the same time, I still wanted my friend to know that her babies are precious and they don't deserve that shit. But I ain't know how to bring it up, so I'm gonna sit with that. But it's hard. Not throw up the not throw the pigskin again. Y'all are so cute talking about dreams. Y'all are adorable. You ever think about trying out as a lineman for the Jets? Bitch, I'm fucking crying. That's funny as hell. I tried out for the football team, but then I got scared. See, people saying come legal about people who are immigrating here. I just want y'all to know that coming to this country legally is extremely hard. Not to mention being able to come to America. It costs a lot more than we could ever fathom. I think if some of y'all thought about it, like, and some of y'all may not be in this position, but think about if, and it's so fucking ironic, but there are many black women who are already leaving America. I want to put that out there right now for any black women that are wondering where to go. There are a lot of black women moving to Asian countries. There are a lot of black women moving to African countries. There are a lot of black women moving to islands. A lot of black women moving abroad. And it's not just because they want to sightsee and visit other countries. It's because we're living in a white supremacist world. And unfortunately, living in a white supremacist world, it's so anti-black that there are black women who are like, I don't want to ever put myself in danger. And being out of danger means leaving a colonized, hyper focused on race area. And I'm not trying to say anti blackness ain't global. What I'm trying to offer is the ways in which black people are treated in certain countries may seem better to certain folk. I personally have left America a few times. I went on a cruise and then I went to visit Canada a couple times. As a mixed person, I can't really give you too much. I just feel like um, inconclusive, personally. I feel like most of my experience with anti blackness has been in America, so I really can't give too much. I feel like leaving America, it felt bizarre. I feel like every time I've left the country, I've been like, whoa. It's fascinating to see how other countries are run, especially Canada. The city just didn't feel like a city. It felt very European. I was in Montreal mostly. Um, yes, giving billions to Israel. Talk about it. Talk about it. We have to respect other countries. We can't go to Mexico, for example, without visas or passports. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think that thinking about people coming here illegally is the first issue, because who came here legally? I want to just pause for a moment and just consider that talking point. Who came to America legally? Quickly, nobody. So, with that being said, because we know that the standards for coming to America have already been quite low, we must hold that any kind of restriction to America is either racial or violent in nature, which a lot of times is racial. So, with that being said, the ways that black people were brought here and the ways that there have been no ships coming from Africa since, it's because the nature and the desirability of black people has changed. Clearly, at some point, white people loved to fill a boat full of black bodies and bring them to America. At this point, America is actively creating a propaganda war against brown people who are not necessarily African people, but I would stress that the ways that we talk about people who are immigrating here, legally or not, it does hold how we talk about people who we don't believe deserve the benefits of being in America. And I bring this up to say that most of us, if you go to the gas station right now, I want you to look before you fill up your tank what the last person got. Just take a moment and look around the gas station. Look at the prices. Look at how much money people put in their tank. A lot of people are not leaving uh, $20 in their tank. They're leaving $10, $9, $6. I want y'all to pay attention, truly, because we're not living in the abundance. We're right now currently experiencing a wave of billionaire orchestrated scarcity in order to ensure that they still get the same profit margins that they were expected to lose. That's why the prices of everything is much higher. We're about to end this quarter. The new year is coming. They're trying to make sure they end fat. Keep that in mind. Prices are going up next year. It is on us to actually respond in a way that makes sense. And I'm still thinking about what that looks like because a lot of people are talking about doing strikes. I don't know how many of y'all are on Lex. If you're LGBTQIA+, there's an app called LEX. It's worth it if you're tired of Tinder, want to meet some queer cuties, and don't really talk to people like that. It's part Craigslist, part chat room, part dating site. Like it's very much everything. Um, I've met people that have given me housewares off there. I've met one of my best friends off there. Um, I started a couple groups on there. I started a group called Whole Mixed People. It was a group to kind of talk to other mixed people who were invested in being mixed as like a politic and not like being one of those people who are like, I'm this part, this part. Because I just remember growing up thinking like how silly it was, like how people who are mixed would just be talking about their mixedness. Like, I'm 35% Pomeranian. Like, oh, I'm Siberian Husky on my father's side. Like, it's just like so funny to me because it's like that doesn't mean anything at this point. Like, I think that that's the thing about being mixed that I think the colonizer loves, that like it's on us to choose our own adventure, and a lot of mixed people choose whiteness, and I think that that's something to talk about. That when you're mixed, choosing whiteness is something that is either ostracized or uplifted, and so I just want to put that out there that a lot of us are not a lot of us are not able to just be because we've kind of been taught what's acceptable, how we should be, and some of us are either going along with it or we're being punished. So just want to put that out there that there are people who are socialized to behave a certain way out of fear of being marginalized or diminished. And I really hope that y'all figure out a way to behave that makes you feel good inside, but also doesn't like make you feel like you have to pull back or not be your full self. Because again, the colonizer wants non-white people to shrink, to disappear, and to be sidekicks. So consider how you're a main character. Consider how you deserve to be big and loud in this space. Consider how you deserve to be heard. Consider how you deserve to be here, period. Again, I love all of y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Listen, the mods are probably people who have 9 to 5s. I'm grateful. Listen, if anyone ever bothers you in chat, you can always block them. I'm sorry in advance for how they be. Yes, I love to hear that. And see, that's the thing. Thinking that, I appreciate you, Rod, Mod. I appreciate you, Ed, for offering the mod. Honestly, I'm Gucci. As I said, if people are bothered by anybody in particular, just block. Personally, if I see somebody doing something wild, like Mr. J Step, I'm going to just remove them. But again, I feel like I'm trying my best to just remember that, like, you know, some people just want attention. We're 4 years into COVID, SARS too. Like a lot of people are still housebound. A lot of people still in the home. A lot of people not getting that socialization outside, which is why we're here too, right? Like a lot of us are not able to hang out outside. I'm hoping that I can take out of the park soon because like that would be really fun to just enjoy some outside times and the earth. But yeah, no, I'm hoping that y'all know, like, I'm invested in trying to decolonize the way that I create content. Because the colonizer created YouTube. The colonizer was like, yeah, and you know what? We're going to pay white people to sit in front of a camera and just talk. And we're going to reward them for already having money and resources. Like, think about it. Think about what YouTube is. Like, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of the white ones especially, they literally are just showing you what it is to be white. Like, it's such a gag. But it's like when I watch some people content, it's like, what are you really offering me? You're just showing me that you're white and you have access. Like, again, that's why I believe some of us watch so many people of color on YouTube, because it's the first time we're ever able to see a self actualized person of color outside of the colonizer's gaze. And that's what makes this platform so fucking important. That's why TikTok is so fucking important. You're seeing younger people self actualizing, telling you about their lives, and they're not necessarily trying to show you a life that you should emulate. They're actually showing you a life that maybe you don't really like that much, or maybe you're just fascinated by, but aspirational content is kind of boring. Like, most of us put on our pants the same way, sitting down. So let's just be candid. You know what? You know what sucks? I think Carol has been in here before. I could be wrong. I don't know. But Carol, I'm gonna hide you on my channel, cause Carol, I can tell like you're one of those white people who's invested in like manifest destiny, and the colonizer's imagination is literally in your head right now. Some of y'all really hear that there's people here. Some people really hear that there's people immigrating here uh, illegally, and think that that's a moment to talk about how, benefits and taxes. And, sweetie, the taxes aren't being spent on the people. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers to why we're not getting what we need. And once we start pointing our fingers at people who are disenfranchised, that's when we put ourselves in a position to be tricked. Okay? I just want y'all to consider how we can become tricked by white supremacy. The colonizer is clever. The master is masterful. Again, the colonizer already imagined that we would be fascinated watching other people on the camera here. The camera is a powerful tool. You can show people a lot of things with a camera. And we can tell that the colonizer is unhappy with all these black and brown people, because what is he up to right now? What is the colonizer up to? What's so loud right now? Trump, anti-blackness, separatism, segregation. Listen to what you hear. The colonizer is very unhappy right now. And when the colonizer is unhappy, it's calling to the white people. I'm telling y'all right now, as the colonizer becomes irate at all of this self-actualization done by non-white people, white people are snapping into fucking action. That's why white people calling the cops more, engaging with guns more, because unfortunately that's how their ancestors handled uprisings. They think there's an uprising. I'm telling y'all, I don't just be talking. I be high, but I just be trying to pay attention. Again, white people are very distressed right now because they cannot turn around. Like, white people can't turn around and say, "Oh well, they can't explain it. They can't explain this." And again, I try to think about how there's moments where things are happening and I don't understand. And it will behoove me to listen to deep dark skinned people. There are times where things are happening and deep dark skinned people know. I'm wondering, they know. So with that being said, if you ever find yourself wondering what's happening and you have the power, you have the privilege, consider that there's someone to ask that you may be harming by not even considering that they know. And so that's how I'm gonna leave you. White people, y'all need to ask questions, but the trick is now you gotta find black and brown people willing to engage you in good faith. And that's the double-edged sword of white supremacy that they don't tell y'all about. Is y'all so busy harming people and carrying out colonizer manifesto and shit that when you really want to figure out why you're behaving the way you are, you've already harmed so many people. They don't care. They think you're a demon. And that's why a lot of men are mad right now, because there's so many men harming. We don't care. We think you're all demons. Now what? And men won't hear, okay, I've got to come at them softer. The colonizer will hear you're angry and be like, I know this bitch didn't raise their voice. The colonizer will really hear you're angry and be like, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass. And you're like, wait, why is the colonizer mad at me? Like, what the fuck? Like, you be so fucking confused. Kenneth, I'm glad your white self is here because white people need to hear this. The shame that you're sitting with is ancestral. You're feeling ancestral shame. There are many of you afraid of people of color, which is why the legislators who are white do what they do to protect y'all from yourselves. Y'all have caused so much harm. There are literally laws on the books to protect you because you are so racist, because you've harmed so many people. There are laws that make it hard to prosecute your behavior, which is not just antisocial, it is anti-black and anti-human. And that is the fucking crux of it all, is white people have behaved in an anti-human way. That if you remove the word black and talk about the behavior of anti-blackness and the function of the word black, if you break down what the point of it all is, it's anti-human behavior. And then when you consider that human is something that we just created and called ourselves, that it don't really mean nothing. It's just meaningless. But how that word means something to white people. White people love to use the word human. Love to use the word human. Love to use that word. But then there's categories of humans. And so the way the word black and the way the actuality of blackness can seemingly take away from the reality of intrinsic humanity. Again, whiteness has behaved in such a way that it is ashamed. And so when people are full of shame, they're going to behave belligerently. Think about some famous people who have done some very weird shit. And maybe, people don't really want to feature them right now. Think about what they're up to because they don't want to sit with the shame. And I know a couple minds came to mind, but a couple names came to mind, but not Kenneth hasn't done anything wrong here. Here's the thing. Kenneth saying that he's white and this is crazy or whatever the fuck. It's not about dragging Kenneth. Hear my words. Kenneth named that he's white, which means what exactly? That he has authority over whiteness? He don't. Just like white people created blackness, whiteness is not intrinsic to white people. We know that there are a lot of different people who are from different cultures who could be considered white, right? So nothing's really connecting y'all truly other than the color of your skin. With that being said, when people of color engage in that politic of connecting based on how they look and not community, it is seen as an anti-white thing or something fucked up. And it's so fascinating because whiteness literally looks at itself and decides that's good. Isn't that fascinating? That whiteness looks at itself and says, that's good. That's right. And at the same time, blackness and black people are supposed to look at themselves and see wrong every time, unless there's mixture with white, unless there's non-black mixture. Again, the way the colonizer tells on themselves, the way the colonizer creates all these caveats that, yeah, all insert non-white people are bad, but we'll accept the ones that are mixed with white. We'll champion and uplift the ones that have our DNA. We must consider that this is a planned attack. Exactly, but here's the thing. Like I said, what Kenneth is doing is what white people do. white people will respond to something with their authority. I don't have to be black to talk about anti-blackness and its effects. And in fact, I want to stress that it's not on anybody black to be talking to you about anti-blackness. In fact, I want to implore that it's very important for you to be listening to people talk about anti-blackness who are in lockstep with black people. It's important for us to not expect labor from black people. Black people shouldn't have to tell you about anti-blackness. That they've already talked enough. They've already shared enough. There's so much information out there. I promise you, you will never need to ask anybody black anything. There's so much content online for you to gain the knowledge on your own. But if you do happen to watch a video or read a personal account, which I think is the most important thing, I would definitely suggest sending that person some money and not making it a big deal. Don't be a weirdo. If somebody black has shared something with you and you appreciated it, just give them the money. You don't have to go into a whole weird diatribe about how they changed your life because they were candid about how your white supremacy, your legacy of white supremacy and your part in it was illuminated to you. They don't need that. Just give them the fucking money and leave them be. Like, comment, subscribe, but don't be a fucking energy vampire. I feel like, again, I'm saying this from my own experience as being an energy vampire. When you start to unlearn your privileges, you start to want to like talk to people who are marginalized by you, and it can be weird. Again, I think that it's necessary for us to talk about how we live in a white supremacist world where we're really not offered much guidance on how to navigate. And so I'm aware that some of us have been raised by people who didn't really talk to you too much about race and racism. And unfortunately, because we do live in an anti-black world, the lighter skinned you are and the whiter skinned you are, the more people will take your words more seriously. And so when people are derailing in the chat, I don't mind it too much because, again, to some of you, it may not be important to listen. For others, it may actually be a puzzle piece to part of the treatment you've received. Because, again, as much as I have privilege, I am also marginalized, and so I'm able to speak to the nuance of experience. That while I'm not the deepest, darkest skinned person, I still do experience anti-blackness, and I try to speak to that nuance with some gentleness, because I'm not experiencing what deep dark skinned people are experiencing. I'm just not. And I didn't really understand, and I still don't understand, but I didn't really grasp that like there was a layer of anti-blackness I was kept from. And I've had people push back on me and be like, "You're black," and tell me that I'm black, and I'm like, wow. Like, even when I acknowledge that I'm a mixed person, there are some people really invested in me being black. And then what's even weirder is when that person wants me to identify as black, but is actively trying to get me to accept poor treatment. And it's very bizarre because in that moment I realized that the whole point of calling people black and naming them is to subjugate them in their minds. I'm supposed to know that they're calling me black, and so I must do X, Y, or Z. I never understood that. When I claimed blackness, when I said I was black, I did it because I felt like I didn't want to be seen as a confused, mixed person. And I also didn't want to ever be operating like I didn't see myself. And so I started to really see myself as a black person. And that's where I really went wrong. And I'm not saying that I was raised to see myself as mixed, really. But I was absolutely raised to see myself as the black child of a white passing person. I love the chat. I love the chat so much. Again, people thinking that I'm a black person is problematic because I am not black. And that's what's really important to acknowledge. Because again, when people are mixed, when people have access to mixed culture, when people have the access to name that they're mixed, as I said earlier, us mixed people get to have that space between projection and actuality that most black people don't get. Even white people at this point don't get as much. There are still people invested in whiteness being right, but there are a lot more people who see white people and think about subjugation. They look at white people and they see their ancestral harm. And because of that, uh, as a mixed person, I think it's necessary to name that there are moments where people tell me to my face that, I must be black, and then go on to treat me like pure shit, whereas they weren't before. Or the ways that I'll have been wearing a wig and then I change my hairstyle and ooh, that's honestly part of why I stopped wearing wigs as much, because I always felt like there was a big reveal that like my natural texture and the wig I'm wearing is not connected. And that taking off my wig was actually revealing that I was have black ancestry rather. And so by holding that like I always need to show my natural hair because people will project on me that I'm some person of the Latina dad, and project that like this hair is coming out of my head is my real hair. And the ways that people will believe lighter skinned people are this or that thing, and will believe all of these parts of us are natural and real. Here's the thing, what I want people to consider is that it's okay to not appreciate what I'm saying. You're all free to choose your own adventure here. I'm just trying to offer that as a mixed person, I'm oftentimes given space. Like, once I say I'm mixed, people treat me better. It's really fucked up. But it's something I realized later in life, that me saying I was a black person wasn't necessarily doing the thing I wanted it to do. Me claiming that I was a black person was never to be harmful or to like make people feel manipulated. It was 100% to stand 10 toes down on the fact that I wasn't with anti-blackness, and that if people were going to be, offering me anti-blackness, then I must, go full throttle in my black identity. In retrospect, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I can't call it. I can't call it other than I wanted to stand in solidarity and I did it wrong. But at this point, I'm realizing that, and I'm grateful that I get to have that moment. I get to have that moment where I'm like, damn, I don't want to be, colonizing blackness. I don't want to be harming black people. I don't want any black girl to think that like it's normal to have a white passing mom as a black girl, or think that that's part of black experience. It's not. I don't want to be an elder that the young black children see and think like this is normal behavior or this is what we're up to, and it's like we're not. Like, I'm a wayward ass mixed person, like it's true. And I feel like part of me claiming black identity was avoiding that reality, that like I am wayward, that like when you're mixed you don't have a lot of elders that love you. Even if you're mixed and come from two great families, they don't love you the way that they need to, and nobody has shown them how. A lot of mixed people are not being cared for. We're not. And that, what I mean that is that we don't know how to talk to about ourselves or talk to people. We don't know how to be in black spaces, even though we keep on being fucking invited by black men. There are a lot of layers to this conversation, and I know that I'm probably going off, but what I'm trying to offer is that like there are a lot of us that don't have guidance, and like Black women are not the fucking teachers or the motherfucking sidekicks, best friends, nannies, fucking nothing of the sort. And yet, a lot of mixed people use black women as some sort of like, help me, as a fucking fairy godmother. And again, the ways that there have been black women who have showed up in my life and been so abundant with me, and part of it is because they saw me as a black woman. If they saw me as a mixed person or a light skinned person who was like wayward, who knows if they would have wanted to support me or care for me. But those are things that I think about at this point. That like there's ways that us mixed people can operate and people will really fuck with us. And as I said to my other friend, today is like being mixed. I got to choose my own adventure. At first, I feel like a lot of people thought I was socialized as white, but I feel like it was more that I was in the foster care system, and there's no pro-black foster care system. Like it's just not existing. So yeah, I was socialized into whiteness and foster care for sure. But even before then, my mom used to roast me because my mom was clearly trying to socialize me and all of her children into like black culture. And I feel like the only one that took it was my middle brother because he was the most brown skinned person who looked like a actual black person. And I feel like my mom was very upset that I was not loving R&B early in life like her. But I think at the same time, I just like music in general. And I feel like it's weird for your parent to be like, you need to listen to what I'm listening to. In retrospect, my mom's white passing. So, of course, it matters to her how she's performing in black spaces. And for me, I'm not thinking that deeply about it. I know how I'm looking. I don't need to do too much. People are accepting me in black spaces. My mother, obviously not so much. So I think that unfortunately, I think I got to read on white passing people doing things to show up in black spaces and seem like they belong there. And again, I think that that offers some clarity on us mixed light skinned people. There are a lot of us doing things to show that we belong in black spaces, but there are a lot of other conversations happening that prove that we can be derailers and harmful. Oh my goodness, y'all are funny. I love the assumption that I don't have a job and that I'm unhealthy and I'm unclean and that I'm angry and unwell. I fucking love that. Anyways, I just want y'all to know that I'm having a really cute day and that none of you can hurt me and that I hope that if people are hurting you, that you get away from them because you don't deserve that. Truly. I know what it's like to be somewhere where people are not treating you the right way and they start treating other people the wrong way and then you start thinking that you're just like those people. You're not. Not when you're thinking like that. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about how you're carrying the behavior. I'm proud of you. You're breaking out of it, especially if you start thinking about where it came from. There's a tiny celebration for you right now, a little tiny celebration. There's gonna be a bigger celebration if you stop that behavior. Even bigger celebration if you hold yourself accountable. Even bigger celebration if you share with other people. Cause you know what that means? You know what that means? Like when you do something wrong and you apologize, you do something that you ain't like, and you bring it back up. That means that you actually give a fuck about how people feel. It means that you actually give a fuck. It means that you actually gave a fuck about your behavior. Ooh, look at you grown. Look at you grown. Look at you fucking caring about how you impact people. I see you. Again, babe, some of us just need a little bit of reminders that there's standards out here. Some of us forget because the standards be low. Other places don't it. Nerf, you want to know how much I weigh? You could drop me some money. I'll get on the scale right now for you. Hello? Y'all be playing. Anyways, I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for chilling. Not you talking about laying on bitches. Nerf, it's not worth it, but you keep asking me how much I weigh. It's worth my time, clearly. It's worth you typing. My goodness. I'm crying. You asked twice. But now I see you a gaslighter. And now I see you playing. Anyways, I love you. I'm gonna see y'all later. Oh no, I know it's his fetish. That's why I'm trying to make some money. Catch. Love you. Bye.